All right, so here we go. Yes, a lot happening around the First Descendant today. Some shady things also happening around that recent server compensation package. We'll dive into that. Hard mode is lacking something extremely important. Can't believe this was not included in the game. Also, that 20% drop rate is apparently lying to you. And apparently, you should stop crying over the overpriced microtransactions, or should you? And the Destiny and Warframe fanatics set their targets on the First Descendant communities. But then again, there are those from the Destiny and Warframe communities that are immensely enjoying this game as well. So a lot to go over, but we're going to start out with that recent maintenance compensation package. You may remember that one, but someone discovered this right here. Compensation is an item you have to pay for. You cannot change the color of base weapons or descendants, but they gave us red paint to compensate for the first day issues. Red paint you cannot use unless you go buy a skin to use it on. I want to like this game, but even the "we're sorry" has a bill attached to it. This is a bug, right? Right? And here we go. We got a reply. It says, "We're sorry. Please spend money." But yeah, this is a big problem. This should definitely not be happening in this game for sure. And I just think that they're going to have to do something else, something new, another type of compensation package as well to make up for this big oversight. But probably wasn't an oversight, honestly. I just feel like there's some tactics going on here. But also we have this, the paint system gets even more scummy. I just figured out that the only way to use paints on the default skins is by buying a recolor common skin of it from the store, costing 250 credits. Then you can use paints on it. Yes, I also noticed this as well. Again, trying to funnel you into that. Let me know if you guys want that to change or not. But hard mode does not have matchmaking. This is what I really want to talk about. This is a huge oversight and honestly needs to be put in ASAP. I was shocked that this is not in the game. I'm not on hard mode just yet, but to find out that this is not in the game, I'm just going to have to take my time to work my way up to hard mode. And I'm not in a rush whatsoever because that's one of the biggest oversights. And I'm just completely shocked that they have not thrown that in there right out the gates. That's one thing that can really, really hurt the game right out of launch if you have players jumping into hard mode and there's no matchmaking whatsoever. So yeah, hopefully we get an update from the dev team. Again, Nexon, it looks like they plan to really update this game in the long term. So there's that at the very least. I'm crossing my fingers that Nexon doesn't abandon this one like, Anthem was abandoned. But I don't think that's going to be the case. It seems like they're very much invested into this by the way that the servers are back up and running today. But also, we got to talk about some of those drop rates that are advertised in the game. There was recent testing done and some discoveries about the 20% drop rate right here. Check it out. It says 20% drop rate is apparently a lie. If you're farming for Freyna and you've done Ruins Path 20 times now and still no stabilizer, that's because it and some other 20% drop rates are bugged. Edit. Before any naysayers say the obvious, RNG is RNG. Multiple people have reported problems specifically with this mission. At some point, it stops being a coincidence and a genuine bug with the drop rate. Again, I really do wish that the dev team would step forward and be a little bit more vocal on how they might, address these core issues, because this right here is a major issue. If the RNG, that is being advertised through the menus is a complete lie in some ways. Now, I know that's not the case through and through with a lot of the missions in the game. But yeah, when it comes to actually obtaining characters and you're trying to keep people in the game for as long as possible through an apparent bug, yeah, that needs to be adjusted and fixed ASAP. Now, this post right here might get quite a reaction from you all. I'm very curious. Check it out right here. It says, "Stop crying. $70 for an Ultimate Descendant? Sad face. Don't want to pay? Farm. This is a PvE game, not a PvP game. You play it for your pure pleasure of progression. Who cares what other players have by spending money on the game? It's not like they're going to use it against you. Plus, you can earn most of the stuff by grinding. I did a microtransaction and my stuff is not coming. Devs themselves addressed the delay issues. Plus, you get your premium currency. Just check your inbox via the game." Yeah, that was a bit confusing at first for me. I didn't know where my currency was. So yeah, I did figure that out on my own eventually, but I found that a little bit strange that it just doesn't appear. You know what I mean? And then we also have this right here. The performance is so bad. AAA devs been releasing games that run like pure trash on the first week of release, and this game has been released on much lower budget. Plus, it has the promise of optimization updates to come soon. Okay. On top of that, name one Unreal Engine 5 game that has proper optimization. Probably the finals, but that's just one. The only complaint I have about this game is how clunky the movement looks for a third-person shooter game, but compared to PUBG's movements, it's all right. So yeah, a lot to digest there for sure. We're going to start with the $70 price tag for the Ultimate Descendant. That is really, really steep, especially compared to other free-to-play games that are on the market. Yeah, you can farm a lot of this stuff, but again, when the drop rates aren't being 100% with you, that's where the issue lies. So that's where a lot of people are having problems. Yes, the grind can become very much an issue if you're stuck on something that's saying, hey, 20% is your chance here, but it ends up being more like perhaps 5%. And for the performance issues for me, again, I'm not having many performance issues, but I'm not taking big chances. I'm running at 1080p. So that's why I really want the like really smooth frame rate with the ray tracing as well. But yeah, you know, let me know how it's performing for you guys. They did say at the very least that they're looking into doing some updates for performance. So in that way, Nexon is willing to talk to the community about what they're doing. So, you know, kudos to them for that at the very least. But, you know, it's interesting seeing the Destiny and Warframe communities talking about the First Descendant. And I've seen, you know, those communities also enjoying this game, but also there's like some, I guess you would call them fanatics that are coming out and, you know, kind of trying to trash this game, which is definitely hilarious to see. It says, more players in Warframe right now doesn't bode well for this game one day after launch. Okay, so I was like, let's see if that's true. Let's dive into this a little bit more. So Warframe has about 40,000 players in it currently, which I'm going to say that's actually really, really good for a game that's considered, I guess, old. Like, that's excellent player retention after this many years. But on the flip side, you know, you do have the First Descendant, even with, you know, its problems at launch, 238,000 players currently playing the game. And in fact, you know what I'm going to do right now is refresh it. Okay, so now we're at 230,000 players in the game currently, which is just very, very impressive. It's not on the level of like Helldivers 2, of course, which I can't remember how much that reached. It was a crazy amount on Steam. But again, like these numbers are on PC alone on Steam, you know, they're not even, I'm not showcasing numbers across like Xbox, PlayStation 5. This is a super impressive launch. So we have this right here. I've noticed that many in the Destiny community criticize this game, but I think it's actually solid and enjoyable. Despite the frequent backlash from the Destiny community, I've found this game to be well designed and genuinely fun to play. It may not be perfect, but it offers a great experience in my opinion. Yeah, you know, and then we have a reply here. Just started playing today, and yeah, the game is pretty fun. Don't know how long it'll grab me, but I'm enjoying the combat and characters. I like that it plays more like Warframe than Destiny. You know, it's funny seeing so many people talking about Warframe and how that plays. You guys are getting me to want to try Warframe now as well. You know, I played a little bit of Warframe, but I never got into it fully. I'm a bit curious about hopping into that one. I feel like it's very difficult to compare First Descendant to Warframe and Destiny just because this is a brand new launch. It's going to feel different just because of that. Like, this has a lot more time to mature and see what it becomes. Whereas, you know, Destiny and Warframe know where they're at currently, if that makes sense. But yeah, also someone mentioned this as well. And I totally agree. Check it out here. It says, the Nexon title screen needs a nerf. Way too loud. Seriously. The second I open the game, I have to take my headset off before my ears start bleeding. I notice this as well. I make sure like every single time I open this game that I immediately turn down my volume. I'm like, oh crap. Yeah, this is First Descendant. I better not blow out my speakers. But yeah, that definitely needs a nerf. So hopefully Nexon gets on that as well. But we got to talk about your top comments from my most recent First Descendant video. So let's do this. All right, so here we go. We have this one right here. Servers went down again like 30 minutes before you posted this video. As I released this video, it went down again. LOL. We are not back up and running. Tons of PlayStation 5 people have LE13 errors. So you can see the launch has been pretty rough. But right now, if I go again over to the First Descendant concurrent player count, it's still staying at 230K. So I'm not seeing it like just drop down significantly, which means servers are still going pretty strong. Even recently, although the servers are back up and running, I'm still getting some weird jitters, some significant lag from time to time. But again, we're at launch. So I think all this stuff will smooth out. All right, so here we go. It says, if you claim your mail, it automatically starts the XP timer, by the way. So that's a word of warning about these compensation packages as well. They really got to do something about how the paint and skins work. Understand that free-to-play games need these kind of things, but they can be done in a way where the player doesn't feel taken advantage of or nickel and dimed. I don't think Nexon is getting the memo about that one at all, and it feels like they're just going to power through because I guess they've done this stuff with previous free-to-play titles, and they're just like, it's worked out for us. So it seems like they're not going to adjust their strategy, their pricing, or anything regarding the free-to-play stuff right now. I've seen a lot of companies hold fast when it comes to what they do with their free-to-play structure, the cost and everything, and it's just such a bummer because they're catering towards that 1%, those wells. And then we have Skygaze, who says this off topic. As a beta player, I like the shader system, but now in the full release, they behave like old Destiny where they are consumables. I'm bummed that I missed out on the beta stuff with First Descendant. I meant to get in on that. But also, we have buying a $70 character days after launch is so wild to me. I saw someone defending that recently, and, they'll do what they want. People will do what they want, and it is what it is. That's why they put it at $70, I guess. But I'm not willing to do it. I'll grind. I did buy one of the outfits that was like $5. I'm going to do that. If I'm going to spend, a lot of time in a game, that's going to be my way of like at least thanking the devs for, all their hard work. Plus the outfit was cool, and it's for a character that I really, really like, and it's $5. No big deal with that one. But $70? That's the price of an entire game. The Elden Ring expansion wasn't even $70. Like, what the hell? This type of stuff is just, for me personally, is just like, I don't understand it. I still try to wrap my head around it. But again, I'm not the 1%. So yeah, that's who they're targeting. But all right, so that's it. That's the video. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all the comments. I love reading through all of them. Trust me, seeing all the different opinions. Yeah, there's a wide variety of opinions. This definitely is a divisive game. It's still sitting at like 50% currently. Some people hate it. Some people like it. Some people are powering through. And some people are like absolutely loving their time in this game. So let me know what side of the fence you guys are on. But thank you all so much for watching. And I will see you all next time. Take care.